Is Tom Lynch the forward that we need? Let's discuss. Before we jump in, again, hoodies are dwindling. The numbers are dwindling. There's less than 45 now. It's been crazy. You can get them. The link is down below. Free shipping. I'm sending a bunch on Thursday. So if you get in before Thursday, they will leave on Thursday and you should get them. If you're in Victoria, you should get them next day or Saturday. Link is down below. I appreciate all the support and all the love you have given me. Now, let's talk about Tom Lynch. So it's just, I don't know if it's broken recently because there hasn't been any strong links, but Damien Barrett on the Sunday Footy Show said that Collingwood and Melbourne are potentially interested in luring Tom Lynch to the club. Now, Tom Lynch from Richmond, obviously. Now, we've tried this once before, back in 2018 when Tom Lynch was playing for the Gold Coast Suns, and he's like, I want to come back home to Victoria. And Collingwood were super into him, Collingwood, Hawthorn, and Richmond. Ultimately would end up at Richmond, of course, go on to win 2 premierships there. But Collingwood were really into him. There was that whole meeting with the manager, and I think it was Ned Guy at the time who met with his family at Sorrento, and then they caught him. The media caught him jumping a back fence or something like that. It was a big fiasco, and that was the year where Buckley came out and said just publicly, he's like, yeah. Me and Lynch have had a couple of chats, and there was rumours that Lynch didn't really like that being so forward because he wanted to wait until the final series was over before making his decision. Ultimately, he makes his decision and goes to Richmond. Now, years and years down the track, Collingwood are potentially linked to him again. But is he what we need, and is he worth it? So Craig McRae over the weekend publicly came out and said that we need a key forward. We're looking for a key forward, but then he also said we're looking for a key back, we're looking for a wingman, we're looking for an inside mid, outside mid. So he kept saying all these other positions that we were looking for, but he kept talking about a key forward. And we know that Collingwood's forward stocks have taken a hit for years and years, and we don't have, these big key forwards don't come to us. And I made a video about it ages ago. So when Damien Barrett sort of said about this Tom Lynch news on the weekend, everyone's ears started pricking up. And rightly or wrongly, Collingwood will probably potentially look at him. And the teams look at every single player. So it's not like they won't be looking at uncontracted players or players with a year trying to get them from the club. They're going to do what best fits us. But is Tom Lynch that best fit player? Tom Lynch is 31 this year. He'll be 32 next year. He's got 1 year left to go on his contract at a reported $1.5 million. So heavily back paid. That's that contract. So back ended that contract. So that's 1.5 in the salary cap that we don't have. Richmond will probably want to get that $1.5 million or close to it off of their salary cap. So, you could see like a Grundy sort of thing where Collingwood pays 800,000 and Richmond pay the rest, or something like that, because he might go for cheap, 32 years old. But the sticking point, yes, the $1.5 million is huge. But the biggest thing for me is that he's 32 and his body just can't keep up with him. He's just injury after injury after injury. And he is such a good player. Back in 2022, he scored 63 goals from 19 games. We would have killed for someone like that to dominate the forward line with Myercheck. And then obviously, if he comes next year, it's with Dan McStay. In the last 2 years, Tom Lynch has only played 8 games due to foot injuries and hamstring injuries. And when you're getting older, and trust me, I'm getting into the older end of the spectrum as well, and I feel a tight hamstring and I'm out of action for a while. So I can't imagine these footballers doing the same sort of thing and with the rigorous training that they sort of do. So Tom Lynch just keeps missing. He's injury prone. Is he worth it? And look, I would love a big key forward, but I just don't think that this is worth our time and our effort. And it would probably come cheap. We could probably get him for a future third round pick, something stupid like that, because I feel like Richmond would love to get most of that $1.5 million salary cap handed back to them, so off their books. So I think they would genuinely love that. But I just don't think he he's what we're looking for, right? How much can you trust of a guy that's played 8 games in 2 seasons, and maybe he can get his body right. Maybe Jared Wade and the guys can work their magic on him. But are you giving this guy a 2 to 3 year contract with his issues? 8 games in 2 years. That's the biggest sticking point for me. Um, and and he's 31. He'll be 32 next year. And I know we're still in that prime, and I know we're full of old players. I get that, and we're still in that window. And he could help us. He could spur us on to a flag next year um, if it's Myercheck, McStay, and Lynch in the forward line. That's absolutely huge. But Myercheck is 31, Lynch will be 32, and Dan McStay might be 28 or 29. So is he a stopgap that we need right now? Or do we put our eggs into another basket? Would you take Tom Lynch if he was super, super cheap? If Richmond said, we'll pay 800, 900,000 of his salary, just take him. So and you pay 600,000 and give us a future second rounder. Would you take that? Would you want Tom Lynch in the football team? I think he'd be a brilliant acquisition 3 years ago. And maybe he does have a lot of footy to give. I don't watch a lot of Richmond games, so I haven't seen the games that he has played this year. How many goals has he kicked this year? So he kicked 6 goals in 4 games this year. But in saying that, Richmond haven't had a good year at all. They're 18th, wooden spoon, the lowest the clubs has ever finished. So he is not getting a lot of forward entries. But I don't think he's worth the money, and that's just my opinion. And maybe you can convince me otherwise. I do like the idea of it though. That's the thing. I'm in two minds because I love the idea of having a fit and healthy Lynch who's kicking, you know, look at that, 63 goals. The year before that, he kicked 30. Oh, that was COVID year, so 35, 32. But then 63 again in his first year for Richmond. I would love that. A 50-goal forward would love. But I just can't see it happening. And especially because we've been touted for having the older list and, oh, you're not giving the young guys a go. Ba, 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 ba. Is bringing a 32-year-old in what we want to do for this club? Or is it premiership now, worry about the downfall later? And I think the bigger picture question here is, would you rather Richmond's 3 flags in 4 years and then a wooden spoon? When was their last flag? Um, 2021. So would you rather a wooden spoon 3, 4? What is it? Three years after you've won your 3rd flag in 4 years, or would you just rather just sort of keep being there, keep being there, keep being there, and not getting any reward? Do you want that drop off and just challenge now, or do you want to sort of slowly build, slowly build, slowly build? That's a hard one. Not even I can answer that. Maybe that's a good question for a bit of a deeper dive video next time. But that's sort of what we're grasping with at the moment. Is Tom Lynch going to be the guy that takes us to a premiership? And in saying all of this, and I sort of prefaced it right at the start of the video, there hasn't been any real links. Damien Barrett said that we could potentially be looking at him. So it's not like I've heard that Collingwood have met with Tom Lynch. So it's nothing like that. It's potentially. But where there's potential, there's fire, right? So do you want Tom Lynch at the club if he comes cheap? Let me know your thoughts down below. Is there another forward that you want? Because key forwards don't grow on trees. Let me know your thoughts down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.